Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted to do the mythology of Nephilim. Nephilim have always interested me as far as their wider implications, but first let's talk about their origins. Nephilim are in the Christian Bible, and they are talked about as the sons of angels and the daughters of women. So they are the offspring of God's children and of man, or woman in this case, and they have been described as giants among men. A passage says that when the people saw the Nephilim, they felt as though they were grasshoppers, and the Nephilim saw them as grasshoppers due to their size. And the word giants comes up many times and is often referenced to, and some people believe that the Nephilim are the kind of starting point and giants came from them as far as the Christian ideals are concerned, whereas Greeks and Romans have their origins for giants. But as far as the Christian origins of giants, that's where they come from, is from the Nephilim themselves. Additionally, Nephilim also were then doomed to a dark fate. Many people believe that when the angels came down to the earth, the angels then fell. They are not allowed to, one, descend upon the earth in such a way to pick women. Two, they are not allowed to procreate with the women of the society of men and women as humans. So then those angels then fell, and Nephilim became these very dark, powerful but yet terrifying creatures. And so they are then doomed to darkness, for it is written that some angels said you should not do this, and they agreed to do it anyway, and they picked their wives and they lusted after them, and then they procreated. And it is then told that they will beget a terrible darkness, them and all of their children. However, it is argued that in some cases, some people believe that God then took some of the Nephilim and saved a portion of them, like 10% of them, and turned and twisted them into demons. And then these were the origins of the demons, as the fallen angels fell out of heaven, as did Lucifer and his followers, and after that, the Nephilim, being their children, became the first demons, as those demons then beget and try to destroy and influence and turn the human race to evil. As Lucifer and his fallen angels became all of the devils, the Nephilim, their children, became the demons. Therefore, devils and demons having this sort of connection without being the same exact creatures. And this is a wildly believed origin for all of the devils and the demons, being the angels fell and procreated as they were not allowed to. But the Nephilim specifically were always thought to be these giant creatures and these very, very powerful old creatures, and that could do these crazy things, and that being the origin of them has seeped into popular culture. The things that come to mind are Darksiders. The Four Horsemen are said to be Nephilim, as the Death Horsemen just slaughtered the rest of them with ease. Diablo 3, the main player characters are Nephilim and are they have these origins and these descents, and they can do these terrifying and powerful things. And additionally, some other Nephilim are a bit smaller here and there, but they are always regarded as these powerful beings of this crazy origin, and that comes from these larger than life seeings and findings of these terrifying yet powerful beings. But they are ultimately tied to this very dark background. And I think that Darksiders, as a example, does this very well, because they are bound to this certain servitude, and they have to do this specific thing from the council, whereas God said, you will be these demons. It is written about in the passages that I was researching for this video. Whereas in Diablo, they are these saviors. They save everyone, and it's kind of a different look on it, because not everyone believes that the angels, when they came down, that they fell. Some people do believe that they were just the children of the Son of God and the women of humans, and that they aren't wholly evil. They don't have to be. That is the biggest interpretation of when the angels came down from heaven. Is that what, when they fell? Is that when Lucifer and his angels rebelled and God and the archangel Michael cast them out of heaven? Or is that a different interpretation entirely? So that's really the what you, as a person who wants to look at the Nephilim as creatures, that's up for you to decide. Do you want to side with the fact that they are fallen creatures and they are doomed to darkness, or do you like the fact that the angels might not have necessarily been fallen when they came down, and the Nephilim themselves could be more of a good creature? I personally like the fallen angel type. It's more widely accepted, and it kind of ties this air of the Nephilim being these dark and yet powerful creatures. But I personally love that the devils begot these demons, and that kind of ties in the whole origin for all of these creatures, as God then put Lucifer in hell, and all of the demons and his angels became the devils, and all of these creatures became the denizens of hell. I love that version of the mythology of all of these creatures, and I like that interpretation. I think that makes way more sense in my opinion, and I just think that all of that comes together very nicely. And I also enjoy the Nephilim as giants. I love that interpretation as well, simply because whereas angels could be these huge gargantuan creatures from heaven, as they are these warriors and sons of God himself, I believe that just makes a lot more sense to me, as when they fell and did these things that they were not allowed to do, this would classify as them falling. That's the way I like to look at it. I think it's so really interesting this way, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And what do you think about the demon theory, about where did some of them get saved, or were they all cast away? Some say that it was they were cast into hell. Some believe they were cast into Tartarus. But no matter what, it's this, that they were eventually destroyed, but maybe some of them were saved. Let me know what you think about that, about the devil theory, about the demons theory, about the Nephilim in general, as these children of this, like this crazy dive bomb onto the earth. And like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe.